that social media is just like a highlight reel. Like it's not always like realistic. It's not always sustainable.
This was a goal for you, correct?
Yes. Then I put like 10,000 followers on my vision board. Like when I hit it, I was like,
What's the learning curve when it came to you making content specifically?
Being in Winnipeg, I just got in my own head. Like everyone that you see goes through hard times too. We're just not gonna post and talk about it consistently. Let's say it's at 50K and then you refresh your phone, it'll be like at 100K. Like it actually goes really, really fast when the video starts to blow up. It's, you ask and you shall receive. Like brands will always have a budget. Like they're just trying to be sneaky.
How much of your life do you share with the world? Do you have it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Two Fries Podcast, aka the #1 podcast in Winnipeg, where we document the rise and stardom of Winnipeg's talent and personalities. First things first, I want to thank you all for tuning in week after week and showing love. It allows us to continue doing what we do and put the city on the map. Today, we have Aliyah on the podcast, a lifestyle influencer, here to talk about how you are perceived on social media. We talk about brand deals, we talk about brand trips, working with influencers, traveling the world, as well as the behind the scenes of making content day to day. As always, if you gain any piece of value from this podcast or are an aspiring content creator, this episode is for you, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy the episode. Wow. Hey. I know the crowd's going crazy.
What?
The world.
Hello.
Aliyah, thanks for coming. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you taking the time. I want to start right away. Your TikTok's blowing up.
Okay.
It's been 2 days. It's blowing up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
So basically, my friend invited me over for like to paint her house.
Yeah.
And basically she like said like, oh, do you want to come over for paint and sip? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then she's like, oh, we're painting my house. I'm like, oh. So then we all came to her house and like literally painted her house. And I was like, this is so funny. So then I posted like a little clip. It's at like 1 million views now. So I was like, what the heck? But people love like relatable things that they can share and send to their friends. That's what I've learned.
Okay. Have you gone through the comments on the other thing?
Yeah. So it's like a lot of friends being like, I would do this to you. Remember when you did this to me? Like it's always that.
Yeah. It's crazy that something that you wouldn't expect to go crazy viral ends up going
I think
viral.
That's literally the trick. And people always talk about that. They're always like, the video I expected to like flop did the best. Like I thought that was just funny. And a lot of people on my Instagram story were reacting and laughing. So I was like, okay, let me post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I feel like TikTok is like low effort humor type vibe. And then it's of course picking up. And I'm like, that's the video. Like when I post like this cute vlogs where I try so hard and flops.
60 hours of work.
Literally.
So many content.
Literally. And then it's like that literally 5-second clip. I think I took it in app.
Yeah.
Just added the text and it was up. It's like, wow.
What is that feeling like when you see it, the numbers rise?
It's actually crazy because when it starts to really pick up, it blows up in like seconds. Like not like after you post it, but you might sit and then let's say it's at 50K and then you refresh your phone, it'll be like at 100K. Like it actually goes really, really fast when the video starts to blow up, especially on Instagram too. Instagram moves really, really quickly. Like it go from like 8K to like 12K in like literally a minute.
Wow.
So that one is like, it's kind of addicting. You're just sitting on your phone like and you're refreshing it.
Yeah.
So it's just fun though.
Are your notifications off?
No.
So you keep it coming.
I should turn them off because honestly, sometimes it's too much. But it's.
I'm so curious. So we've had people on the show, and I'm so curious on at what point you turn off the notifications when they become
I know.
too much.
I think that when I always have like my do not disturbs and like work and stuff settings like really, really strong. So I feel like I don't really notice it anyways until I'm like sitting on my phone and that's when it starts like coming up.
Yeah. Now let's break this down. So I don't want to categorize you because I don't know what it is.
My niche?
Your niche, like, or is there a niche? Because you're showing your own life.
I know. I feel like actually that's something I'm dealing with right now. I'm like, am I gonna have the niche? Am I gonna niche down? Am I what? But I feel like I don't really want to. Just kind of want to post what I like to post. Like I want people to like follow me for myself. So that's like my vlogs or like my sense of humor or like my fashion or the way I act and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really want people to get to know like my personality more on my speed though. That's what I'm trying to implement.
Walk me through the journey of this. When did this start?
Okay.
Why? How did Aliyah get to where she is right now?
So I've always like posted on social media. Like even me and my best friend, we used to have like a TikTok account with like 15K followers when like dancing was like the only thing on TikTok.
Like the whole
Renegade,
Hey.
yes.
Okay.
That's what, and so we were like really into that and we just had a lot of fun. And like I have clips of me with my friends at like literally like 7 years old, like on the webcam, like making
Right.
videos like all the time. So it's been something I've always been interested in. And the only issue I kind of felt like was like being in Winnipeg, I just got in my own head. Like on my personal page, I had started posting like lifestyle content. And like at first people really liked it. And then after a while, I think people were just like, okay. I'm like, we're not following this girl for this. Like, I have like guys from like my Hinge following me on this page. They don't want to see you a day in my life vlog. You know what I mean? And they were not engaging with it either. So I'm like, ooh, like I just felt so awkward and I started getting so shy. I started feeling like in my own bubble. So I was like, oh, but like this is a goal I want to achieve and I want to grow and I like it. So I secretly one day made my new page, which was like Aliyah Juliana.
Okay.
And I didn't tell my mom, my sister, friends, like I didn't tell anyone. Like I didn't even tell my sister I made that page, but I didn't tell her the name or anything.
Gotcha.
I started posting like every day for like 2 times a day, like just like backlogging like old content. I also talked about like my first video was like, this is where I'm starting, this is where I am. And it was like 0 followers and like 0 followers.
Yep.
But then that video
And it
ended up
blew
blew up.
Yeah.
And then it had a lot of other people being like, what? Like, I like your videos. Like, because at this point I had like 12 or maybe 15 videos on my page when I started to pick up. A lot of people just started following me from that. And then I had this other video go viral where I talked about like low-rise jeans and everyone was like, those are not low-rise jeans. I was like, okay. And then that one got like almost 5 million views because people just kept fighting with me if they were low-rise jeans or not. So then those 2 videos I feel like really like took my page up. But I recommend starting a new page for sure. Yes. Especially in like a city where you're like, if you are like me, where you get in your own head or like you just have a lot of people and you feel like there's a lot of eyes on you that are not supporting you. It's good.
Yeah. Why do you think you got in your own head?
I feel like kind of just going back to what I was saying, like I understand the Instagram algorithm. Basically, when you post something, it posts it to your followers first. If they don't engage and then they don't push the content out, that's kind of how it works. So I was noticing that like my current followers were not really engaging. And then I just felt like, is this stupid? Like, is this dumb? Like, I don't know. Like, you know, when you just start like doubting yourself and you're just like, no one's liking it or really talking about it other than like my good friend. So it's like, maybe it's not very good, you know?
Yeah. And then what was the conscious effort of, but it's still you though. It's not a specific, it's about your day. It's about your life. It's about you going to school, you studying and like being a marketing girl. Like that's just who you are. And then transitioning that into, okay, like this is catching on. I've got this viral video. Are you trying to replicate the viral success of video after video? Or are you just like, I'm just posting this because I enjoy this? What's the goal?
Like, yeah, it's a bit more of that. I would say like there's like technique behind everything, of course, like because I do really like marketing and I've worked in social media marketing, I kind of understand that space. So like there are some videos where I'm like, okay, I know this one is gonna like get the attention, is gonna bring the attention to my other videos that are not doing as well, but they're maybe more in my niche, like the vlogs or like maybe the makeup or something like that. So you kind of have to balance it, but I don't like doing just clickbaity, funny following. Because even like we're talking about my TikTok, right? Like, the people are, I have, it's 1 million views. How many followers have I gained from that? Maybe like 100 followers. Like, because it's not a niche, like it's not actually of substance. Like, you know, like it's viral, but it's not going to produce you like followers. I'm not going to be on a brand trip for paint like after that, you know? Like,
that makes sense because the hardest thing that we found, especially being in this content game for a little while, is the conversion. And I think a lot of people, you hear so much of like, you know, social media gurus are all make content. But then there's other people saying niche down, only do this. And so what would you classify more impactful? Would you say, let's make as much content as you can? Or would you say niche down?
I would say it's a bit of both. You have to make a lot of content, but make sure it's good quality content. Like I remember I posted this video because a lot of people were saying stuff like, okay, if you want to blow up on TikTok or Instagram, use these trendy sounds and then do this and then do that. But then I was like, but if the video itself is like, no offense, crap, like who's going to like or follow that? You know what I mean? And I remember I talked about that too. I was like, when you post something, make sure it's actually engaging. Make sure it's something that you would like and you would share with your friends or save it. Like when you're thinking about posting something, think about it as something that's either savable or shareable. That's kind of why I saw that success in the paint video, because it's like very shareable. or like the low rise one because it's like controversial because they're a mid-rise jeans, so people are commenting on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has to have some sort of substance. So you can, I say, post a lot, but make sure you're posting good quality work.
Can you walk me through what a day looks like for you?
Hey, like a weekday or a weekend?
Ooh, let's do both.
Okay.
Let's start with the weekday.
Weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'll give a fun one.
Okay, let's go.
So this Friday, I did take a day off of work to do content. So I started like my day with like a morning routine video. And then I had to film it for like a skincare brand.
Nice.
So I included that. And then I filmed like one UGC video. So that's just like a video I send off to the brand.
Yeah.
Then an unboxing video that I sent to, that I posted on my feed. That was really fun. And then I got ready. And then I hung out with my friends, went to the club. But like that's really like my life, like it's lots of content and, like, and then like socializing as well.
I want to talk about the morning routine.
Okay.
Because I see a lot of them.
Yes.
There's, I'm not gonna lie, I've done one too. I have one up there, and it's so weird for me. I'm asking for tips actually. This is what I'm asking for, because is it my morning routine if I get up and set up a camera and record myself getting up?
I never have done that. I won't say that. I've tried. Okay, actually, that's a lie. I've tried it, but I'm like, this is too corny. I have to cut it out.
I cut it out for the minute. I was like, there's no way this makes sense. Just woke up. Like, I had a little voiceover in there.
I can't. I feel like if I can't, I have to like take myself as seriously as much as possible. Like, when I think about social media, sometimes I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm setting up my camera and I'm zipping up my sweater. Like, why are we doing this? Like, or like, I have to get every clip. Like, I think it's dumb sometimes too.
Okay.
Like, I think it's, but then it's also like when it comes together, I think it's like a really fun thing. It's cute and it's nice.
I've thought about what it would look like from a third person point of view.
No, my friends have recorded me and it looks so bad.
Like, why? Like, in our head, it makes so much sense. But watching someone do something, it's weird. It's strange.
It is.
It's just strange to me. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or that's just something that I'm used to. Like, this is the content that we've been producing for a while. Sit down, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
But getting into that lifestyle, how much time does it take to make, like, let's say a 60-second video in the morning, like a morning routine. Like, I don't think people understand
earlier. Like, if I know I want to go to the gym, I'll like, let's say I want to arrive at the gym by like 7:30. I'll get up like maybe 15 minutes earlier because that 15 minutes will like take the time for like setting up my camera and each thing. And like for me, I don't even do like crazy different angles. Like I have a friend that will do like one angle where she's sitting at the desk and the next angle she's sitting again at the desk. Like that's like three different shots that she's taking. And I'm like, okay, but it's doing well. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't even do all that. So I'm usually just like, I have like an Octo Buddy with my phone and I stick it to the mirror. So it's like very much like I'm just recording what I'm already doing.
What's an Octo Buddy?
It's like the sticky thing that sticks to the back of your phone.
Gotcha.
And then it can stick to like mirrored surfaces and like glass.
Okay. Oh, so it's easier for you to. Smart.
You're like,
I'm writing down. Let me write that. Yo, write that down because our next day in the life is going to be so fire.
No, it's much easier.
Is it planned? Does it give you motivation to be like, okay, I'm going to film a morning routine tomorrow. I'm going to make my morning routine as productive as I possibly can because I know that it's going to be on camera. Yes,
I feel like it's a bit of both. Like I want to get the content and I also want to like do these productive stuff. So then it works out better. Like the more I can do, the more the video goes interesting. Like I remember me and my friend, we were like really wanting to try Pilates and I was like, okay, I'm in a slump right now. And we did it and I filmed like a cute video and it's like been like my best video of September. Like, and people love Pilates, so it's perfect. But it also like, I'm doing something that benefits me too. Like I'll never be someone that just like pretends to do my skincare, pretend to go to the gym and then walks out. You know what I mean? Like it's always things that help me like do what I want to do, but then I also get to like make videos out of it too.
What's the learning curve when it came to you making content specifically?
I don't know. Since I've been doing it since I was so young, like I just started doing YouTube. Like I've just filmed my first video.
Wow.
And I was like, like I found it so easy because I used to like making videos when I was a kid. So I don't really think I've had like much of a learning curve. Like I don't know. Like, but I also don't do any crazy edits or anything like that either. So I couldn't tell you really.
What were the early videos like when you were younger? Do you have any? Was it a
I
story?
did a morning routine when I was younger.
Okay.
I did like, oh my gosh, this is my 5 things I hate. Like you remember like YouTube used to be like your biggest pet peeves
Yep.
or like first world problems. I did a rant video. What am I ranting at? About 12 years old.
12 years old.
I don't even remember what I did a mustache haul.
Okay.
Because you know
Walk me through that.
mustache,
Walk me
like
through that.
there was like this time where like you know how like the bows are trending right now?
Don't. I'm sorry. I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
Okay, the girls will know. The girls
Okay.
will know. You guys know what I'm talking about. But there's like
Walk me through it. Walk me through it.
it's like there's a time where mustaches were really trendy. So like you would have like a mustache ring or like a mustache like necklace. Like
Okay.
it literally used like that typical like
Okay. I see that.
mustache.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed.
Mm.
And I had like a shirt, a ring, and earrings, this and that. So I did a haul.
Is it still up?
No.
No.
I privated all those videos.
Why?
They're horrible. I like to watch them for myself.
Of
Like
course.
now I'm at the age where it's like almost 10 years out where I can watch it and I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's so adorable and stuff like that. But I don't want
They
anybody
were
else.
fire though. When you
Were
post,
they?
I don't know, to yourself. To yourself, did
yeah,
you? Did you?
like on I ate?
Yeah, right.
Mm.
And then it's only when you take a step back and you're like, "What on earth was that?" Like, trust me, we have those videos as well. And we're like,
I even feel that way about some of my content that's like early, like even like a year ago or 2 years ago. It's not even like it's bad, but you just grow and you get better. So
This was a goal for you, correct?
yes, I was telling you earlier about how I have my vision board and I put like 10,000 followers on my vision board. But I was really just thinking, I just want to grow on my social media this year and like put more effort into it.
And why was that? Like, what was that conscious effort of growing the social media?
Because it's something I like. And I always knew that it would be like, I always see other girls that are similar to me doing social media and stuff. And I'm like, I could do that. Like, I want to do that too. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that like jealousy in a way is something that you can use to like turn it to be something really positive. I heard this saying that you'll never be jealous of something that you can't achieve or something that you can't like get for yourself. Cause like, I'm not jealous of a doctor. I really am not. It's like, I don't want to be a doctor and I don't feel the desire to, but I am jealous of these girls like getting these opportunities with like social media and like brand trips and all stuff. Cause I'm like, I want that for myself and I can see myself doing that. So that's why I put the 10,000 on the vision board.
Yep.
And then I was like, when I hit it, I was like,
Can you walk me through the day when the 10,000 showed up? Like, you obviously have to know it's coming.
Yeah. I was at like 9,999, and I was went to my mom, and she's like laying in bed, and I like refreshed it, and there was like 10,000. I'm like, like just jumping up and down. My mom is very supportive and loving, and my sisters like they called me. Like my family is very loving, so and like they got me like a treat and they got me a card and like congrats. And then I did like a little photo shoot at my house with a cake.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Can you fathom that 10,000 people watch you?
No,
Like,
that's the thing. We get so
have 4 people in this
desensitized.
room right now, and
I
it's a little
know.
toasty. But 10,000 people are, or more now, but like are tuning into your content, are found something of value or entertainment
Yeah.
that they wanted to follow you. Can you fathom that number?
No, like sometimes what I'll do is I'll look up like how many seats are in like a certain stadium. And then I think about that number, like let's say that's like 20,000. And then I think about how my video got like 30,000 views and like all these people in the stadium and then like plus 10,000 watched me.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's so many people. And not only you people, you have opinions as well of those people.
Yes.
Those come with it. Those come with it. Can you talk about the love, the hate, the world of social media and
the love is really nice. Like it's been a way for me to like meet other Black girls, especially that like really like my content or like what I do. I feel like on the other hand, like I've also had like people that like really feel like they really, really know me personally, but we don't know each other. And that can be kind of like scary.
Yeah.
Because it's like they think they know me, but it's not like me on social media. And that I don't really like that aspect of like growing and stuff, especially in like Winnipeg. People will be like, I think I saw you on the bus. I'm like, okay, I don't want you to see me on the bus. Especially if you like you're kind of like you have to be like your head is on a swivel a little bit, like just because you see people might recognize you or might know you because the city is just so small.
100%.
The hate, I haven't gotten like really, really bad hate, thank God. But obviously, like I said, people did not like it when I called those jeans a little bit. And I did get some hate comments, but I'm like, delete them because this one time I posted this video about being a baddie and waiting for the bus is so embarrassing. And someone said, is the baddie in the room with us? It's like you can even see my face in the video at all. So I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like people just love to hate, and I'm like, whatever. I think that if you get a hate comment, that means your video is blowing up and you're up there. So
Yeah, of course.
like, okay.
Because it's another way of people seeing almost like jealousy you were talking about, right? Going back to how you think that people on social media know who you are. I think there's like a word for it's like a
Parasocial relationship.
Yeah. And I sometimes think of like the content that I grew up on, or like the YouTube people, or even like TV shows that you grow up on.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up, I thought I knew the people on TV.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see that now you are that for some people, right? And I've had that experience as well when people come up, oh, I've seen your show, and it's so weird because to me, I'm just sitting in a room and talking, like I'm just yapping. But some people are watching us week after week, and that's a different experience for me, right?
I definitely agree. It is so weird. It's fun, like where people like will recognize you when you're out with or something like that. Like I've never been to the extent where like, can't take a photo. It's not like that. It's not up like that. But it's just like, oh, I've seen you on my For You page. You're like, oh, I've seen you around. Like I like your videos.
Yeah.
That's super nice. Like it just shows that like, okay, like people are in your city are watching you and they support you and they like you. But obviously it does make you feel more like
Are you nervous about that aspect? Like as you grow, that's gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I hate unsolicited opinions. So I feel like maybe social media is not my best like space. Like if I start posting a lot and people start being like, you should change this or you should do that, I'll be like I do not like that really.
Right.
So like I hate like feeling nitpicked as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm gonna react to like growing, but I have a really good like family and support. So I think I should be okay.
I think I don't think you need to worry. Not that not that I know that much about social media, but from what I've experienced, it's the people leaving those comments, the people nitpicking, they just want to be in your position.
That's how I
right.
Yeah.
Like there's a famous quote like Michael Jordan never left any hate comments. Like why would he? Because he's too busy doing other things, and the same way as
someone better than you leaving a hate comment.
No, and if it is, it's always out of love. It's always out of love.
Yeah, like trying to improve.
Yeah.
But I've never seen like a really successful influencer comment, like a troll type comment on somebody else. Like
100%.
What?
Yeah. What were some of your inspirations when you started this?
I love Monet McMichael. I don't know if you know her.
I'm not going to know a lot of these people, but it's okay. Some people will.
I love this girl named Clark. I actually got to meet her at VidCon.
I know Clark.
Oh, really? Clark
so.
Peoples?
Yeah.
Yes,
I do know Clark.
When she was so nice. And like these girls are like, mind you, like a year older than me. Like, so like we're so close in age.
Yeah.
This one girl, Fernanda Ramirez. I really like her. Do you know her?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
She's more like a YouTuber. Maya Beatrice. She's also another YouTuber I really like.
Nice.
What
What specifically do you like about these like people? Like, is it a specific type of content? Is it a specific type of
they're all
the
very
way?
like authentic. Yeah. Like their content is very like themselves, and they're also like, but it's also like really nice quality, and like they put a lot of effort into it. Especially Monet, like she really blew up because she used to do like these really fun edits. Like she would like have a night out, but like she'd do like slow-mo with the drinks and with the outfits, and like she looks so good, and like her and her friends all look so good. I'm like, I love it.
Okay. Are you mimicking any of that stuff in your in your arena? Like, are you taking small things of like, oh, I like the way that they did this, or I like the way they did that?
Now that I've started like trying to do the YouTube, I've definitely been looking at like Fernanda and Maya because they were like more the YouTube girlies, and I'm like, okay, like how do they transition like their music into it, like or like where do they do their intros, like how do they make their intro like that style? Because I feel like the YouTube one is usually I usually watch YouTube just more as like a viewer, and not now. And now I'm like producing the content, so now I'm like, okay, and now I need to kind of.
You see it in a different lens, completely different lens. You understand how much time it takes to do a small little change here.
Oh my gosh.
That's something I realized too. When we got into this game, I was like, oh, it may look like you just 4 or 5 people sitting in a room and talking, but there's hours.
Podcast probably like I've never done a podcast like in whatever, but thinking about like sounds and like how many cameras they are and like syncing up everything and all that, cutting it. I think it's gonna be the worst. It's gonna be the most time consuming.
Have you thought about taking a podcast?
Yes, you and my sister, we want to do one because we have like the same energy. So we always thought about it, but we live in a different city, so we're like, maybe not.
Okay. Did you grow up in Winnipeg?
Basically, yeah. Like I lived here since I was like the first grade. So
So wait, where were you born?
I was born in New York.
What?
Yeah, the day after 9/11, actually.
Well, okay, we're going wild here.
So that's my fun fact.
Wow. Okay. Have you been back?
No, I haven't. But yeah, I really want to go.
The New York content scene is on a different
I know.
level.
I also think that I need to celebrate my birthday in New York because I'm like, that's just iconic. Like,
100%.
have to do that. But
Yeah. That's crazy.
my mom was like, it was literally 2001.
Yeah.
She was like in New York and she's like, I'm not going to the hospital. Obviously, like my due date was September 11th, but she's like, I'm not going.
Okay.
And so she held me in, she said, till the next day.
Wow. Damn. And then you grew up, so you grew up in Winnipeg.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. That's, and so what are your thoughts on the Winnipeg content scene? Like there's people making content, but it's not as big as New York. There's definitely other cities doing it a lot better. It's slowly on the rise for sure.
Yeah.
You see a lot more people getting into that world. You see a lot more people at least trying it. From the years that you've been doing this, at least beginning of the year and a couple when you started making content, what have you seen in the world of content?
One thing I would say about Winnipeg and like any small city is you kind of get to have a lot of opportunities because there's just not as many people. You know what I mean? It's really like the big fish, small pond vibe.
Yeah.
So you just get like more opportunities to do stuff because there's less of you. And that's kind of the fun part. Like you should take as much opportunities while you can because you're here. You know what I mean? Like, but obviously it does suck because it's like there's not going to be as many influencer events. Like I've been invited to like influencer events in like Toronto or like California. I'm like, I'm not in either of those places, but that's where like their hubs are, you know, or like New York. So it's like you do miss that opportunity to like network and like, or even just being in the Canadian creator. Like I've missed out so many like opportunities for like PR or even like campaigns because they only work with like US creators. Like that really sucks. Like, but the Winnipeg aspect of it all, it's nice because it's like a smaller community. Like I'm in like a group chat with like Winnipeg girls that make content and like that's really cute and nice. Like it's just more like small.
Yeah, it feels homey. It feels homey.
Winnipeg is just home.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Homey vibes. Like it'll always be like that.
100%. Yeah, I find myself going out to like, you know, if I go to Toronto or New York and I'm like, this is like, it's great. It's a big city. There's a lot going on. But every time I come back, I'm like,
it's a nice slow pace.
This is home.
Yeah.
This is home. Talk to me about the opportunities. What's a story or opportunity that stands out that you have gotten over it since you started making content? The one that stands out or one that you thought, oh my God, I can't believe they reached out to me, or I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Do you have one?
I have like, I think that like just like the amount you can like charge a brand is kind of crazy sometimes.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Like, well, that's kind of an opportunity that I got where it's just kind of like, wow, like I could be in my room. I just made this video and I just have money in my account now from making this video. You know what I mean?
Deal.
Like, like brand deals is actually crazy. Or like I've gotten like YSL like PR, which I'm like, what the hell? Like, why me? You know, like, or like just like bigger brand like gifting is like I've always seen girls post PR on their page and never thought I would get PR. Like that's really crazy. And obviously just like being able to make these connections and like to get to know these girls like all over the world is also so fun.
Yeah. Let's talk about the world of brand deals. Do you remember your first one?
My first brand deal was technically through Fiverr.
Okay.
You know Fiverr?
I do. I'm aware.
So I posted, I was like, I was thinking I was just going to do UGC just as a great way to make extra money on the side.
So people who don't know what UGC is.
Yeah.
What is UGC?
UGC is user generated content.
Okay.
Basically, I make the video and I send it to the brand and then they get to keep it and I don't have to post it. But then I said that I would like post it on my personal channels if they wanted for like an extra charge. I think I charged like $50. So I'm not.
So you put up a Fiverr ad?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like a cosmetic fridge. And then my sister was like, choose the most expensive one because they told me I could choose anything from their website. So I did.
Yeah.
And they sent it to me. I was like, okay. Wow. And then I made like a videos and some pictures and they really liked it. And it was up on their page.
At what point was this? Was this when you just started?
Ago. This was like 2 years ago now.
Okay.
Because on my personal page, like I was doing like brand deals like very sporadically here and there, but it was like almost all gifted, like not really like anything paid.
Can you, so a lot, I think a lot of people when they start in this world of brand deals, and that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
You want a brand to send you stuff so you can make a video of it, and good, bad, or ugly, you want to be able to showcase that, right? The PR packages get insane, like the way that, I don't know who's in charge of putting them together. But
first of all, there's so much waste. Like they're giving you like these I got this huge silver heart for like 4 lip glosses. Like,
so like they go all out.
in.
They go all out. And the whole idea of that is so you could post about it.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
So it makes an aesthetic view. So your followers see it and you see it. But I think at the beginning, it's a lot of gifting. So the brands will give, but that's their form of payment almost. Right. Is that what you found for yourself as well?
Yeah. I think that like when you don't have a larger following, they're always going to be like, well, we'll gift it to you. And then like as a smaller creator, you want to get those brands on your roster. So you're going to say yes. You know what I mean? But I think I work like in influencer marketing. Like I do negotiations and like help find like brand deals for influencers. One thing is like you ask and you shall receive. Like brands will always have a budget. Like they're just trying to be sneaky. You know what I mean? Like you can be like, they might start you out at 1,000. You can maybe negotiate them up to like 2,000. Like they can make it work 100%. For sure.
Is there a like, so since you work in the space, is there a set sort of criteria that you would say if someone is starting out making their content? Let's say they have, not a crazy large following, but they got a couple of people who are dedicated. They get some interactions, engagement on their posts. How much would you charge for a video like that? Like how would you go about charging yourself or putting a value on the content that you create?
Yeah. So I feel like I definitely undersell myself because I'm just like doing it myself. And I'm like, sure, do I want to bag this month or something? So I'll take a deal. But I think it values a lot. Number one, I would say engagement rate. So one thing, like brands will use a lot of micro influencers because the engagement rate is just so much higher. So like engagement rate is basically like how much people are engaged with your video. Like, so if you have 2,000 followers and like 1,000 of them are like your friends and people that kind of know you're engaged and they're liking your post, your engagement rate is going to be higher. Like the more followers you have, the harder it is to keep a high engagement rate. But brands want engaged followers. So even like if you have, I've seen creators with like 400K followers and like a 1% engagement rate. That's not good. Like you can like get charged a lot less because of that. Or like they want to see that like the higher your engagement rate is because it's a return on their investment,
Of course.
So I would just say like that changes how much you can charge yourself a lot.
Gotcha. And the engagement thing is hard as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a short attention span world these days. How have you adapted to the world of short attention spans, creating like fast-paced cuts and all that stuff?
Kind of like where I go back to saying sometimes I do have to sprinkle in those like kind of those popular videos I know are going to do well because it's going to keep my engagement rate up and where I want it to be. So it's not necessarily not like far from like in my niche. This might not be the vlog that blows up or something like that, but it might be something people can relate to and like comment on or engage on, and that's helping my engagement rate stay where I want it to be.
Nice. How strategic are you about this? So are you looking into the numbers? Are you looking into like, okay, average viewer duration was this long, or like click-through rate was this, and this
I
is
love that. Okay. On TikTok, like you can see like when people like fall off on your video. I'm like, okay, like like why do you think people start their video off like, you guys will not believe what happened, like because they want to grasp people's attention. Like it's really journalism, but like on social media, you know what I mean? So I do like, of course, like I go back to it, like I like have a business degree and I do like that whole like numbers of it all as much as I like the like girliness of it all too.
Okay, can you talk about the balancing of the lifestyles? Because you said you have a marketing degree, you have a 9 to 5 as well, right? It's going full force into the world of content creation can be a scary thing and also a very difficult transition as well, especially if you don't have consistent flow of brand deals coming in or a consistent flow of income. How do you make that decision, and what are those factors that lead up into those decisions?
I think it has to be like when you start noticing that you're saying no to opportunities because of your 9 to 5, that might be like a click where it's like, I could probably be making more right now if I said no to my 9 to 5 and I took this opportunities. And I also would say like it has to be something that's consistently coming in. Like you have to be having at least like enough to cover your bills each month, or like having other streams of revenue, whether it's like affiliate links or other things that are like also bringing you some money on the side, like, and not just brand deals. Cause it's very scary. Like as an influencer, you can make videos like all throughout June and you won't get paid till like August. You know what I mean? So it's like, are you okay with going 3 months with making no money and then like 1 month with making like 10,000 whatever dollars? Like,
no, and it all depends on budgets as well. You're depending on someone else for the I guess a lot of people may say is it's not stable. It's not a stable income. It's not. But it can be so fulfilling in the routes that if you choose to go that route, that it can.
Yeah.
When you're working your 9 to 5, can you talk about your 9 to 5 and what you do in that world?
Okay, so I wake up and no, but I work at a marketing agency in Winnipeg. So, and I really like it.
Nice.
And a lot of my jobs, so I kind of like split it up. So right now, this quarter, we're focusing on getting new influencers on our roster while also still getting like our current influencers brand deals. It's like Monday to Wednesday, I'm like looking for a talent that we potentially want to sign on, adding them to a sheet and then like emailing them. So I just did like 20 plus emails today just of like new people that we want to book discovery calls with and like get to know.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like Thursday to Friday, I kind of focus on like brand deals. So now I'm finding brands that might work for our talent and reaching out to those brands and trying to get them deals.
Cool. So how does that work in the sense of a content agency? Right? Is that what that is? Or what would you classify that? It's a marketing agency?
Yeah, it's like a marketing agency, like overall, but then we have like a subcategory of influencer, like in-house talent is what it's called.
How did you get involved into that world?
So I interned with them when I was like 20.
Okay.
And I was just doing like social media coordinator, like I was doing random tasks, like just like intern tasks, but I just liked them and they liked me. So it worked really well. And then I left and I decided I was going to be a leasing agent because I loved the show Selling Sunset. And I thought I was going to be a realtor.
Nice.
No. I hated it so much. Like, oh my gosh. So
walk me through that. Well, you got to walk me through the decision of becoming a realtor because I did not know that.
Well, because I thought I was going to do like real estate after school because I've always been like someone who loves like seeing homes and like I'd make my mom go to like every open house and stuff with me.
Okay.
And then I was like, and I'm social and I get to see homes. So I was like, okay, perfect. And if you're a leasing agent, you don't need like any schooling for it. Like you literally don't need anything.
Really?
Because you're just showing apartments. Tell me why I got like the worst apartments
no.
like, ever. And I was like miserable. Like,
do you have a story from that time?
Oh my gosh. One time I went to a showing and it was, I swear it was a trap house. I swear it was so, I don't know if you can keep that in, but it was so nasty. Like mattress on the floor. Like it was so bad. Like the lights didn't work. Like
to sell this off?
Yes. And people are coming in and sometimes I'm seeing it like blind reaction, which I don't recommend.
Okay.
I should have been there early, but I wasn't. And they're walking it through at the same time as me. And I'm like,
and the walls are pretty and they're freshly painted.
Yeah. And they're like so scared. Like it looked horrible. Like I'm telling you, it was so bad. Like
damn.
It was so bad. And then I also have like master keys of everything. And I've definitely walked into the wrong apartment. People are like, what are you doing? Like, it was just not good. Like, I'm just the girl. Like, I did not know what I was doing. Sometimes people would be asking me like, oh, how old is this building? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I just got here. I
don't know. Like, that was like, and I noticed that something about me is if I don't like a job as well, like, I'm not as good at it. And I don't care about doing a better job. And like, towards like my last month there, they were like, oh, you need to get these apartments booked. I'm like, I was not trying to get them booked. I did not care. Like, it was so bad.
How long were you in it?
I did it from like March till September.
Okay.
So not even too long. Like basically it was just like a summer job on this. Yeah. And it was so stressful. Like it was so stressful. No. Yes. Dealing with like people all the time. Like I was like, I can't do this. Like
that's what you thought you originally wanted.
I thought I wanted to do like real estate on the side of like, and like use my marketing, like my business degree.
No.
It saved me a lot of money and time. Cause I'm not going to become a realtor. Okay. So we're good on that.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Okay. So from the realtor.
Yeah. So when I was doing that job, like my manager, like the director, the marketing director at Up House messaged me. She was like, Aliyah, like we have some summer or like intern roles that come back. And I was like, nah, I like this job. I don't know why I said that. Literally 1 week later, I was like, I want to come back. And then she's like, okay. And so we like interviewed and I was going to do like business development. So like basically that like brings money to the company, like helps them get new clients. I was like, okay, sure. Like at this rate, I did not care what I was doing because I just didn't want to do the leasing job anymore.
Yeah.
So, and then they were like, actually, we have something else we want to talk to you about. So I'm thinking, okay, they don't have a job for me anymore. And I'm scared. And she calls me and she tells me, like, we're actually going to launch this thing called Talent. And we want to manage influencers and like start a whole influencer roster and like help them get brand deals. And we were thinking, like, who would be so good for this job? And they're like, you. I'm like, and they at first, they were not even hiring like a coordinator because I was in school. So I was working part time there.
And you were making content along, right? Okay.
But they were like, they made the coordinator role for me. And then they're like, let's just hire a manager later on, like once we need someone above you.
Yeah.
So I literally did like worked by myself for like 2-3 months before they hired a manager.
Wow.
And then now we have a whole little thing.
Mm-hmm. How do you balance doing both? Like at that time, so you're working, you're in school, and then you're also creating content. How do you find the time to create content?
That's where like batch creating is like so good. So when I started my new page, especially, I was like posting like old content while creating new content at the same time. Gotcha. So I was able to have so much content. And like I'd go to school Tuesdays and Thursdays and I'd be done school around like noon or something. And then I'd like study and then like I'd make like a video in the evening, or like it's so good that my videos are my life in a lot of ways, because like I'm filming like my morning routine or filming a vlog at school or something like that, like so it's like it's more or less my life. And I like have like my captions like pre-made and everything, so usually if it's like a work day, I'm like typing it up quickly and just posting it, like so I do try to stay quite organized, but it is a lot.
Do you have some sort of management system that you run with, or is it just like all up here?
It's my head. My notes app and me go together real bad. Yes.
Do you have like ideas like late night and you're like, oh, that would make everything, and then you have to get up and write down, otherwise it goes away? Or are you able to keep that in there?
Yeah, I'll just clock it in my head and say, okay, I'm gonna make this video. Like most of the time, like there's a lot going on in my own head, but then I write it down in my notes sometimes later.
Do you ever run out of content ideas?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've asked ChatGPT. I'm like, I'm a lifestyle creator. Like, what should I do? Like, I don't want to always just like copy other people's styles too, right? But I do think sometimes like sometimes I'll set an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just scroll and like get ideas from other people and like inspiration. So I'll do that. But
and then do you have a regimen of like how many times you're posting per week, or is it just more, I've created this content, I think it should go out at this time? Like how strategic are you behind each post and each kind of?
Obviously I can't post 2 times a day anymore. Like that was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like I definitely just, I'm going to run out of content, but I try to post at least once a day if I can.
Wow.
Usually like the minimum, maybe 3 times a week, the maximum, maybe 5. Like that's like a full weekday, like Monday to Friday. But it can vary. Like I've gone like a week or 2 without posting.
Okay. And then do you see, like, would you recommend that sort of rigidity for new creators coming up?
New consistency? Yeah, that's like the thing I feel like was such a big thing. I was posting so consistently at the same time, like every single day and like every morning. So people are like waking up and they're seeing me on their page and they're seeing me again and again. And I think that's really good. Like if you make a video and you're like expecting to gain followers, but you have only like 5 videos up, like, you know, how are people going to follow you when they don't have anything to follow? So like when you're first starting out, like start posting it 2 times a day for the full week or something. Like in 2 weeks, you'll have like 14 videos up. Do you know what I mean? So like, and that's something someone can follow.
Do you enjoy, is there moments that you hate of this world, of this content creator? Like sometimes there's so many high moments of like, hey, I just got a brand deal. Oh, I just got an opportunity to go here, and which I never expected. But then there's times when you're late night and just editing or whatever it may be. What's the opposite side of this world? Opposite of the high?
I would say like when I took like a little bit of a break because I was like in school, like I had exams and all this stuff. I was posting less and just seeing like my followers like drop. It's so hard to like not think like, oh my gosh, shit, my video is bad, like this, that, or, you know, like get in your own head. Another thing about social media is it's like always your face and your voice and everything. And like if you're going through like self-esteem issues, like I went through like a time where I didn't post because I'm like every time I posted like recorded a video, I didn't like the way I looked in it, or I didn't like the way I sounded or anything like that. And it just gets so in your own head and you just like you're nitpicking yourself because you're seeing everything. That's the part where I feel like it's really toxic.
So how do you step away from that?
I don't know. I think like as a Black girl, I just changed my hairstyle. Like they get it. Like I just changed my hair and I changed like my makeup or I changed my scenery.
Okay.
Like at that time when I was going to like a really like dull self-esteem moment, I had a Toronto trip booked and like I changed my hair and I was hanging out with my sister and like we're going in fun places and like just like having like new inspiration and like that really helps me. Like just getting out of like my everyday routine.
Mhm. Talk to me about those like low moments when you are like doubting yourself,
Mhm.
because it's so easy on social media to just look at somebody else
Yeah.
and see that I should be in that place, or they look this way and I want to look that way. And a lot of people either coming up on social media, young girls, young guys, whatever, when they're creating, they're looking up to you and they're looking at you in a certain way, but then they're judging themselves so much.
Yeah.
Is it possible to separate yourself from that? Or is that just one of the prices that you have to pay if you want to play this social media game?
I think the thing that helps is like literally being honest with your audience.
Mhm.
Like I was in Toronto for Caravana and I remember I was like crying that morning, like bawling my eyes out. Like I was just really struggling mentally. And then but you wouldn't know that because my story was like me in like a cute little red set and this and that. And then I remember at the end of the weekend I had posted and I posted like the photo of me that I had posted on my story. And I was like, the truth is like I was like crying earlier this day, you guys. I was just struggling and I just like went and like reminded everybody like how much that social media is just like a highlight reel. Like we're not always going to come at our worst because people don't really want to see always negativity on their feed.
Yeah.
But like, just know that that's like probably like, if you see a really productive morning routine, that's probably like their most productive day that week or
Yep.
something, you know, like it's not always like realistic and it's not always sustainable. And like everyone that you see goes through hard times too, where we're just not going to post and talk about it consistently.
Yeah. Cause those, I think there's a lot more, sometimes there's a lot more dull moments than there are
Oh,
positive
100%.
moments.
Yeah.
And so if we posted all the dull moments, everyone's
gonna watch that?
everyone's feed's gonna be just so
Literally.
like sad and depressing all the time. Like I'm a proponent as well. My social media feed is just the highlights of my life,
100%.
and I'll acknowledge that. Like that. Like I don't want people to see those sad moments. But then again, you come down to the world of like being authentic and being vulnerable, and sometimes that's what connects with people the most.
Yeah.
So finding that balance.
You have to balance it for sure because you don't want like my sister and I always talk about this because I remember I was going through a breakup and I was like, should I do a series talking about like me, my breakup or something like that? And she's like, no, because you don't want people to follow you for negative content, right? Like you don't want anyone to follow you because of this negativity because when you start doing well, people are not going to like it and relate to it anymore. And I'm like, that's very true because other creators that I've maybe followed because we're in a similar stage of like maybe it's a negativity stage. The minute they start doing better and I'm not in that stage anymore, or like maybe I'm doing good and I don't want to engage with them anymore because they're still in that negative stage. Like you really got to balance it for sure.
Does that provide motivation?
Which parts are
The breakup?
The breakup? Oh, for sure. I always say like there's no better motivation than like me hating a man. Like I'm sorry. Whenever I'm like not dating or anything like that, like my life is up. It's so bad.
Okay. You got to purposely get into those then to make sure.
I swear, you know,
Like views
like,
are down this month. Oh, we got like
you know, like people have like a glow up when they have a breakup. Yeah, that's really how I feel. Like if you like not if you're like going through like a heartbreak or something like that, like that will help you like use that motivation.
100%. 100%. I'm there for the gym motivation.
Exactly, for
Right?
sure.
Find a way to channel it into something else. Like,
yeah,
of course. Aliyah, if there's a piece of advice that you could give to the world and anyone watching who wants to start social media, what's one piece of advice you wish you knew earlier?
I know people always say this, we're like, just start, but like literally just start. You know what I mean? Like get out of your own head and like just try it and like make something that you like and you would watch and you would engage with because you'll find your audience that also likes and wants to engage with.
But Aliyah, that first step's hard.
I know.
And then, for yourself as well, that first step,
like getting out of your head.
Was it difficult?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Maybe start that new account. So if you're really thinking about it, like start that little secret page where like it's just you and it's a safe space and like you can post whatever you want and you're not thinking about, oh, will my aunt see this or will my friend see this or will my ex see this? Like no one, you know what I mean?
Aliyah, if you walked away from here and you wish you had touched on something, is there any topic that you wish the audience should know about, that people should know about your life? What goals do you have coming up for the? You had the vision board, and you checked off the 10,000, and you checked off a couple others as well with your job. What's next for Aliyah?
Maybe.
Is it
No, maybe a podcast of my own. Maybe you can edit it for me because I don't know how to.
We can talk.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to hire you guys. I can't do it myself. I definitely think that like just more, you'll see a lot more of me. I hope. Like I always say, like I want like to be on like a billboard or something, and people be like, "Oh, I know that girl," or something like that. Like, oh, I recognize her. Like, so yeah, maybe those are some
Billboard in New York or billboard in
Who
Winnipeg?
knows?
Because those are two different things. Those are two different things.
All I know is
get
I'm
one
not
here for
paying
like.
for it.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's something I did for a different brand or something.
Got you.
It'll be up for
Got you.
or something I said, like some of those people that I listed off, like that I really like.
Yeah.
One day, hopefully, they would follow me. Like, oh, I like this girl's content. That's one of my goals for sure.
That's amazing. I want to touch on one last thing as well. The different avenues that you're touching, like you're in fashion, the routines, the lifestyle, the music, the world. Like, what are some things that you really resonate with, or out of those, what is your kind of go-to?
I love my routines because it's the easiest. Like, I'm not getting ready and like looking cute like every single day, so like that's hard to do. Like the fashion and all that. Like I love my routines, like taking people along with my life because that's also what I engage with the most on social media. I also feel like people like can really get to know me better.
How much of your life do you share with the world, and how much of it do you don't share? Like if you had to put a percentage on it, what percentage of your life are you sharing with the world?
I would say it's a lot less than people think. I would say I share like maybe like 30% of my life. Like, yeah. Because like a lot of people don't even like know about like my 9 to 5 and like what I do. They don't know what like my days look like. They know usually like my mornings or my nights or my weekends. You know what I mean? Like,
and is that because you don't make content around that?
Yeah. I also think I'm like, you have to be selective because remember how I told you about the parasocial relationships? I post a lot about my life and people already feel very close to me in that way. I don't want to be posting and blasting everything. Like you got to move in silence a little
100%,
bit.
100%. Let the success do the talking.
Exactly.
All right, Aliyah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
For having me.
I hope you had fun on your first podcast, and I hope there's more to come, maybe on your own podcast. Who knows? or your more content. Where can people find you? Where can people interact with you on social media?
So it's at Aliyah Juliana _ on Instagram and TikTok. And then I'm going to post my first YouTube video soon. That's Aliyah Theano.
Okay. Aliyah, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Aliyah, round of applause. And like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Peace.